You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
It's a big world out there, and you're just looking for a pat on the back or head. You run around the city, searching for a place to bark, working your tail off with your nose to the ground, sniffing for a few scraps, hoping someone will throw you a bone. You take each lead, collar after collar, hoping one day to take a bite out of success and become the top dog. Fortunately, you come home each day to open arms, open cans, a drink waiting for you, and a comfortable place in front of the TV set. You know you've got it good, really good, because after all, it's a doggy dog world out there. Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with your host, pet expert, and award-winning author Liz Palaika, and this week's co-hosts Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome to It's a Doggy Dog World. I'm your host, Liz Palaika, and with me today are my good friends, Petra Burke.
Hello.
And Kate Abbott.
How do?
And today we're going to be doing something we haven't done before. We're going to do an entire podcast on one line of dog toys. Well, some of them are for dogs and cats, but this is Doggy Dog World. We're going to talk primarily about dogs. The reason I'm doing this is we have found this new line of toys to be absolutely fascinating. And I think they're very unique in that you and your dog have to play together. They're not to amuse your dog when you leave home. You have to do it together. You have to help your dog, guide your dog, but the dog's got to do it. The dog's got to figure it out for the most part. And a lot of these toys, the dog has to think, and he's got to problem solve. And even though he's got to work so hard, they love them. When I pull out one of these toys for my guys, they go absolutely nuts. All three of them, in their own unique ways.
Just the sound of the rattle of the
toy
puzzle
being
brought out.
What do you have now?
What do you got?
So these are called the Nina Ottosson, and she's Swedish. It's Ottosson, interactive dog games. So if you want to look up her website while we take a break for our sponsor, you can look at these toys as we're talking about them. And her website is www.nina-ottosson.com. And if you're fluent in Swedish, you can click on the Swedish flag and it'll give it to you in Swedish, or click on the English flag and you can get the website in English. So go ahead and look that up if you can. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors, and we'll talk about these toys and how our different dogs reacted to them. We'll be right back.
Sit. Stay. It's a Doggy Dog World. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Pawfume Dog Grooming and Finishing Spray is proud to be a new sponsor of Pet Life Radio. Pawfume super long-lasting sprays are available in 4 unique fragrances. Each Pawfume spray is fortified with the finest conditioners and detanglers to make combing out your dog more fun. Pawfume retails for only $2 per 6-ounce bottle. Pawfume is available nationwide at all Dollar General and Family Dollar stores. Why pay more to have your dog smell great? Pawfume, Pawfume.
It's time for school for you and your friends, your furry best friends. Train your dog the fun and easy way with Teacher's Pet Sessions. Teacher's Pet host Pia Silvani teaches you step-by-step how to train your dog the fun and easy way. You get 8 30-minute live audio training sessions, complete transcripts of each session, plus a basic training manual to get you and your dog off to a great start. Training begins the moment you bring your dog home. Teacher's Pet Sessions offers positive reinforcement training to shape your dog's behavior and encourages upbeat, enthusiastic responses to ensure that your dog will enjoy learning. Teacher's Pet Sessions dog training is fun at both ends of the leash. So listen, learn, and laugh with your dog with Teacher's Pet Sessions. Get your copy of Teacher's Pet Sessions Volume 1 today. To order, go to teacherspetsessions.com.
Hi, this is Pia Silvani, your host. Bring your dog, tug toy, and treats, and get ready to have some fun.
teacherspetsessions.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pet Life Radio proudly presents DSPN, the Dog Sports and Performance Network. Get ready to unleash the dog sports enthusiast in all of us. From speed drawing and mushing to racing, agility, and competition. This is the place to learn all about the dog sports and activities that you can do with your furry best friend and canine competitor. So get ready for game time. DSPN with your host, Lori Williams. Every week, on demand. Only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com. We know you're begging for more. So back to It's a Doggy Dog World with your fetching hosts, Liz Palaika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome back to It's a Doggy Dog World. Today, we're doing an entire show on the Nina Ottosson dog toys. These are smart dog toys.
With varying degrees of difficulty, which is great, and different skill sets for your dog to learn. One of the first things that I loved about it was seeing how my dog's problem solved helped me see how they learn.
Sure.
It's very much laid out for me there.
It's fascinating. Now, I did go up to Nina's website, and it states that she started the Zoo Active products in 1993. So she's been working on probably environmental enrichment type of things for quite a while. She says many of the same things in her website that the three of us have been talking about for years, that dogs need to keep their minds active as well as their bodies, and that owners who, we're all busy today. I mean, we all have jobs, we've got hobbies, we may have to commute to work, we've got family, we've got friends, we're busy. But if we take on the responsibility and the companionship of a dog, we need to spend some time with him. And more time than just snoozing on the couch.
Yeah. Her products are perfect for that.
They're awesome. Absolutely awesome.
You know, and it was a good, I guess, tension reliever for the owner. Like
Oh,
me,
sure.
I work all day, and then I come here in the evening, so it's like work. But boy, I get one of these out and I had fun. I was laughing, and all of a sudden it's like, things are good. You just relax. It was great.
Watching people play with it, and myself and my dogs, it was like one of those Nintendo games, but you don't need a TV. You're actually, just playing a game together.
Yeah.
You're involved in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun.
So I won't go into too much more detail on Nina's background. You can see it up on her website. I want to spend more time talking about the toys. Now, there's two versions of most of the toys. There are some plastic ones, and these are colorful. They're bright, which is probably more for the owner than it is for the dog. Dogs can see some color, but they're bright. They're easily washed, and that's a nice thing because some of them got really slimed.
But they're tough, too.
They're sturdy.
My Roddy stepped on all sorts of pieces and on the board
No,
itself.
my guys were using teeth to rip the parts off. But there's also some wooden ones, and the advertising for it says wood, naturally genuine, in harmony with nature for you and your dog. And I'm sure there's quite a few people who do prefer wood over plastic. We're all worried about the effects of plastic today. The downfall to the wood that I saw was the day you and I were playing with the dogs. If the dogs slobber on them a lot, the wood gets sticky. And some of the pieces...
Moving, the particular one we were working with involved moving a knob with a stick at the end through a track. And if the dogs would be licking and trying to get directly to the treat, they got it wet and it would swell a little bit, and then the pieces weren't moving easily.
Right.
Which would frustrate the dogs even more.
Right. So, in that case, personally, I think I prefer the plastic. But the wood was fun, too.
The good news was, for someone like your dog, Bashir...
The wood was heavier.
Yes. It was much harder to just tip the whole game over.
I will tell you, our listeners, that Bashir learns very, very well. And he found out from the first toy that if he picked that sucker up, trotted away with it, away from the other dogs, and then dumped it upside down, he could get all the treats. So that was his answer for all of the subsequent toys. That's what he tried first. And the wooden toys were heavier. They were much more difficult for him to pick up and trot off with.
Also, as the level of difficulty of the puzzle itself increased, that wasn't always successful for him, but that was the first thing he would try.
He would try it because it worked first.
Yeah. Yep.
So that was his first inclination. So anyway, let's talk about some of the specific toys. Let's talk about the dog brick. This is one that's kind of a rectangular shape, kind of a dog bone-ish shape, and it's got several pieces that slide. And you put a treat under it, and the dog has to nose the sliding parts to get the treat. I shouldn't say nose. He needs to move the sliding parts to get the treat. That's another fascinating thing. Some dogs use their nose, some use their paws.
Some gently push on it. Others just, like Walter, dive in! I will dig my way through it.
Yeah, Logan was just... Pick it up and just listen to us, throw it around, and flying treats comes out. Well, that's a fun game.
Yeah. As long as there aren't any other dogs around to snatch up his successful treats.
Well, and that's something I learned also, is my guys are quite competitive. I had to put 2 outside while I played with 1 inside. And, of course, then there was the chorus from outside. We know what you're doing.
Right. I kept mine inside, but only allowed 1 at a time, but there was much consternation on the other one's part.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's why I just removed the other 2 from the premises. Yeah. They went outside. The dog's reactions were interesting. Bashir, when I wouldn't let him pick it up and throw it around, did tend to use his nose. Archer used everything. Nose, mouth, feet, flail. I don't think he was actually learning as much as Bashir about the specifics as he was, if I hit it with everything, a treat will come out.
Yeah, that's a Walter.
And to be perfectly honest, we've been playing with these toys for, about 2 weeks now? I haven't been able to slow him down yet. Yeah. That's going to take some work to slow him down. Riker would use nose and paws, and was a little bit slower, so I think he was actually trying to figure out what he was doing. But it was fascinating to watch him.
Keely tried it and pushed it with her paws, because I think it was just too big for her little nose. So it was her little paws, and she would just kind of dig
well, of course, she could stand on the whole toy.
Yeah, so she was just using her paws and getting things to move around.
It does slide easily, so even a little dog should be able to do it.
Yeah.
And even personality, though. My little guy threw himself at it. Not until he got frustrated with a higher level once did he stop and look at me and go, "Show me how to do this." Whereas my Roddy, who's very soft and very cautious, she'd approach it and look at me. "Can I play with this?" Yeah, get it. Good girl. Well, if I touch you with my nose, is that okay? If I touch you with my paws, she kept checking back in with me each step of the way.
None of my 3 ever checked in at all. They have no problem with confidence.
No.
You put it on the floor, there's a treat there, I'll go for it.
Yeah, she did eventually build
Teddy just went over there, looked at it, sniffed, looked at me, and like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, well, he's the surfer dude who turned his back on the sheep at a herding instinct test.
So I didn't expect a lot from him. Kona tried. He tried.
But I'm always looking for ways to increase Gina's confidence. And this, I saw some changes just in the few days that she played in.
Sure.
Yeah. She got more confident about problem solving on her own.
That's cool. All right, the next toy, the dog tornado.
Yeah.
Now, all of these are translated from Swedish, so I'm not necessarily sure the names actually have a meaning to it.
But that makes sense.
The tornado, yeah, I guess, because it spins. Yeah. Okay. This is about 5, looks like 4 or 5.
4 levels.
Bone-shaped plastic pieces that are anchored in the center.
Like
and
trays.
They spin.
Yeah.
And you can put dog treats in and then fold it all up so it looks like one big bone, and the dog has to spin it.
Right.
We played with it before you took it home with your guys. Again, Bashir took it up, shook it, and tried to drop it. Unfortunately, that worked. And I had a hard time getting him to leave it there, but he did. It took a little bit of thinking for them because I think all of them moved the top bone, but they didn't figure out moving the others until they played with it for a while.
Yeah. Well, Keely tried, and I think it was just too big for her little nose. So she lost interest. Teddy, forget it. He's surfer dude. Logan figured it out quickly. But when he pushes it hard enough that it spins. So it's like he has to put his nose or his paw to stop it so he can get the treat out. And then he figured out, he pushed it again. And so he figured out how fun it was, but wouldn't slow down. Okay. But it was still fun. He still got the treats. Yeah. Now, Kona, the blind one, actually did really good with it.
Because he needed to use his nose.
He had to use his nose. He couldn't see anything, so he has to figure out where these going and kind of figure out, he couldn't see it spin or anything, but felt it. And he was much more calm and would each tray individually and would clean the trays. It was just systematic.
That's neat.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, this is a fun toy for him. It gave him.
So those of you who have blind dogs or vision impaired dogs or scent hounds, dogs who use their scenting abilities, this is a good one for him.
Yeah, so Kona did the best on that one.
That's
you know, maybe we should ask Nina to make some toys big enough to hide tennis balls in.
Oh, for Teddy? Teddy would love that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, tennis ball, sure.
Or maybe somebody out there needs to make tennis ball flavored treats.
Yeah. It's
Is there such a thing? Oh, well, okay. I'm sorry, my mind wandered.
Okay. Again. Now there's one called the Dog Smart, and that's a round one. And a lot of these toys come with little white bone cups that are inverted over a tray, a hollow part in the tray that you hide the treats in. And this one, the Dog Smart, is a round toy plate with indentations where those bones sit. But the dogs have to hit the bones just right to flip them out. And the bones are pretty hard and slick, and it's hard to get them out by teeth.
Right.
So the dogs have to hit them just right. And this was fun. This is the first one we tried with our dogs, I believe, or one of the first. And it was fun watching the dogs learn on it because we hadn't tried any of the other Nina toys yet. And so the dogs didn't have the concept. And so they really learned on this one. And I know a couple times there was some frustration. Bashir especially kept trying so hard to pick up those white bones.
Right.
And he was so focused on using his mouth and picking them up, I actually had to stop him, pull him back, sit, okay, take a deep breath, let's think about it. And then he went back and nosed it, and he found if he nosed the bone in a certain direction, it would come off. And then that's all it, he got it from there. But I actually had to sit and help him think about it and help him calm down.
One of the things she mentions in her pamphlet about the toys is that if you have taught your dog to touch using either his nose
or a target
or a paw, then you can use that to give them hints in the game.
Sure.
And that was something I did not need to do it with my busy boy Walter, but with my shy Gina, yes. But since I have taught her paw or touch with her nose,
sure,
I could give her little hints and help her and play along with her.
Sure, yeah.
And then it became a faster, more rewarding game for her.
Yeah. I think Nina says in her website also, this is between the two of you, and sometimes you do need to teach the dog to lay down, to be still, to calm down. That attacking it just wham is not necessarily the way to solve it.
Right.
And that's part of the learning process. All right, well, we need to take a break for our sponsor. When we come back, we'll talk about some more of Nina's toys. We got more here for you, so hold on.
Sit. Stay. It's a doggy dog world. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
It's time for school for you and your friends, your furry best friends. Train your dog the fun and easy way with Teacher's Pet Sessions. Teacher's Pet host Pia Silvani teaches you step-by-step how to train your dog the fun and easy way. You get 8 30-minute live audio training sessions, complete transcripts of each session, plus a basic training manual to get you and your dog off to a great start. Training begins the moment you bring your dog home. Teacher's Pet Sessions offers positive reinforcement training to shape your dog's behavior and encourages upbeat, enthusiastic responses to ensure that your dog will enjoy learning. Teacher's Pet Sessions dog training is fun at both ends of the leash. So listen, learn, and laugh with your dog with Teacher's Pet Sessions. Get your copy of Teacher's Pet Sessions Volume 1 today. To order, go to teacherspetsessions.com.
Hi, this is Pia Salvani, your host. Bring your dog, tug toy, and treats, and get ready to have some fun.
teacherspetsessions.com.
Greetings, humans. What planet am I on?
Welcome to Pet Planet. Here's a copy of Pet Planet Magazine, Florida's most informative and fun pet resource magazine. It features heartwarming stories and informative articles from local and national pet experts.
Excellent.
Pet Planet Magazine offers Operation Planet Rescue, helping rescued pets find new homes. And it's available at 500 locations in South and Central Florida and 24/7 on the internet at petplanetmagazine.com. If you're out and about with your pet, you may be featured in Paparazzi, candid pictures of you and your pet. For up-to-date pet-friendly events, activities, and pet-related services and products, Pet Planet Magazine is your final destination.
I shall take this magazine home with me.
Back to your home planet?
No, to my condo in Boca.
Pet Planet Magazine. Check them out at www.petplanetmagazine.com or 352-394-8578. It's out of this world.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's Oh Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. Oh Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand. This is the place for a special paparazzi treat. Only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com. We know you're begging for more. So back to It's a Doggy Dog World with your fetching hosts, Liz Palika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome back to It's a Doggy Dog World. I'm your host, Liz, and with me are Petra and Kate. And today we're talking about Nina Ottosson's toys. And I sure hope I'm pronouncing that right. And if I'm not, I'm sorry, Nina. If you've been following along on her website at www.nina-Ottosson, Ottosson.com, Nina makes some smart dog toys for dogs and their owners, and they're just absolutely fascinating. Next up, let's talk about some of the ones that slide. They're really, I almost call them like problem-solving.
Oh, quite definitely.
Toys. The Dog Trouble, Trubble. That was a hard one. It has a long snake-like groove with a round circle at the end, and then this is one of the wooden toys, and it has a wooden, like large thimble with a little edge on it, and it fits in there, but the only place where the dog can pick it up and get the treat is at the end of the snake where the round section is. So what you do is you put a treat in, feed it all the way back to the snake's tail, and the dog has to push it. He can't pick it up. It won't work. Bashir's trick of picking it up and flipping it doesn't work. So the dog actually has to either push it with his nose or paw it. And this is not an action toy. This is a thinking toy.
And a very delayed gratification toy.
Yes, yes.
You got to really encourage them through it. Play with them.
Now I found with this one, this is one of the ones I took home to play with. I found that my best one with that was actually Riker, my silly boy. He would lay down. He watched me load the wooden thimble, push it back, and of course in the beginning I only put it a couple inches up so he could push it and get a reward. And then after he did that a couple times, I moved it down the snake. Once he's got to go around the first curve of the snake, that's the hard part. Mm-hmm. Because they push, but they've got to change the direction that they're pushing. And Riker was pushing with his nose, not pawing. And then I gradually, over several training sessions, worked it up till I could put it at the tail. Of course, the time that I put it at the tail was when my husband was home, and I said, "Watch what Riker can do."
Uh-huh.
And Riker went, "Huh? I've never seen this before."
Of course.
But I got a good treat. I went and raided some cheese from the refrigerator, put the cheese in the wooden thimble, and, well, let's just say Riker's very food motivated. And it took him a little while. It took him a couple minutes to get past the, well, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 curves in the snake. But he got it. He did it. He was very successful. And, of course, we made him think like, he was just the most special dog on the face of the planet.
He's a genius. He's a genius.
So that's a challenging one. Now, the interesting thing is, on the box it says for dogs and cats. So I got out some catnip. I put some catnip in the wooden thimble thing, cut my thumb over it, inverted it, and got it into the toy. And then got Xena, our older cat, who's a catnip crazy cat. The other two don't care about it, but Xena does. And I have to admit, I consider myself a fairly good dog trainer. I'm not a good cat trainer at all.
I was like, how did that work for you?
I sat and watched. So the first time I just inverted it in the round part of the snake, she did flip it over, so she got some of the catnip. So the next time, I just scooched it up an inch. She whopped it a couple times, got it into the round part, got the catnip. So I'm going, whoa! Moved it up to the first corner. She got mad. Oh! She started... you know how when a cat gets mad, that paw goes out and goes, ka-wop?
Uh-huh.
Claws out, she ka-wop that thing, and promptly stalked down the hallway.
If it's not going to give it up, I'm out of here.
Yeah. So... apparently, when I'm working with Xena, I need to take it in much smaller training steps. And perhaps I'll try some tuna next time. Little tiny bits of tuna.
Oh, yeah.
That might work. So, there's another one that's very similar to that that's called the Dog Fighter. And I'm not sure about the name. Perhaps that's a translation from Swedish, because I'm not quite sure why it would be fighter. And, of course, here in the U.S., dog fighting has a very bad connotation. But that is much like Dog Trouble in that it has slots. The difference is, instead of one long snake with a slot, there's multiple straight slots with a round head. So there's like 6 or 8 different thimble cups that sit in it.
They're like a keyhole. They only come out at one end.
Right, a keyhole. That's very good.
Okay.
Yeah. My guys picked that one up really good. There's no curves in it. So it's just a straight push and pop,
Reward.
and they got the treats
But
out.
they are in different. The keyholes are staggered, so they have to push one time and pull one time, or get up and move to the other side of the toy.
Yeah.
That way.
Now, one of our trainers here at Kindred Spirits took that one home and tried it with all 5 of her dogs. And what she said was, this is Dawn, and she said, it was really fun to see how each dog worked on the toy differently. Each dog was played with the toy 3 times in the morning and once about 5 hours later to see if they remembered. The first time through, she left the pieces so they could just knock them over, and then the next time she slid the pegs in, and then the last time she put the pegs all the way to the end, so the dog really had to work at it. She had some interesting results. Her 12-year-old mix, she said she got the first run through very quickly. She got it quick. But Tika, that's her 12-year-old dog, Dawn has always said is very bright. Mm-hmm. Her 6.5-year-old lab mix, she said the first time she knocked all the pegs out with her nose quickly, got all the treats. Second time she tried to push the pegs with her nose to knock them loose, but she didn't get them the second time, and she didn't slide them all. Her 6-year-old Golden, she said, well, he gave up very easily. It's not his game. Now, that's not a commentation on the breed. It's the individual dog. And then her other 2 dogs, her 5-year-old lab and her 1.5-year-old lab mix, both worked them pretty well. But each dog was a little different. And that's one thing that I think we found with all of these toys is that the dogs do react differently. And I think we need to keep that in mind when people are working with their dogs.
Out of all the people that I've asked to play with it with their dogs and send it around and just rave reviews, only one person, it was a neighbor of someone I'd given it to, she came by with her dog, so my friend said, well, let's play with your dog. And the dog she tried one thing, didn't get any payment, and left. She just walked out of the room. But as my friend says, this woman, the dog is already overweight, and the woman follows the dog around the house going, would you like something to eat? Would you like something to eat? Would you like something to eat?
Oh, jeez.
Why should she work for anything?
She gets it for free.
She gets it all for free. Which is, this, on a side note, is something that I absolutely love about these puzzle games is my roommate loves the dogs. But she's not what I would call a trainer. But she loves but she loves to hand out treats. Now, I try to do the nothing in life is free. You got to earn everything you get around here. Yes, you're adorable. You want a treat. You got to at least sit and maybe wave and maybe speak or do something. You got to do something.
Sure.
She just hands out whole strips of chicken.
Did she figure out these toys?
I actually took one of my dogs and left my other dog at home. I came home
I'm just trying to picture playing with the toys.
Yeah.
No, get the treat, V.
She got the treats. She broke them up. You can only give I see. You can give the treats to the dogs if you can figure out the puzzles.
Put a piece of candy under the bone.
No.
Oh, okay. So you taught her how to teach the dogs.
Yeah, she watched me. She watched me load up the puzzles for the dogs and how much fun they were having with them. So the next night when I took one dog away and left the other one at home, I came home instead of to see that oh yes, I've already given Gina 3 chicken treats, whatever. There was the puzzle on the floor. They had been playing it together.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
And because the size of the compartments that the treats are hidden in are much smaller than what normally V would hand out.
She had to break them up.
She had to break them up.
Good.
And she had to interact with Gina to play with, and they had a great time.
That's wonderful.
Nice.
So I was
That's
like,
wonderful.
yeah, I would buy several of these, if nothing else.
to keep your roommate busy.
Yes.
Well, I think overall, our reaction to these was just wonderful. So many dog toys don't require any, I'd like to say intelligence, but that really isn't the word.
Right.
It's just activity. Knock it around and something will fall out.
Right. With these toys, you and your dog have to work together, which is the whole idea. You spend, and again, I hate to use the cliche quality time, but that's what it is.
It is.
You're spending good time with your dog. You're having fun. Bonding with your dog. Yeah. You're laughing. And the ages of dogs that we had playing these ranged from a 12-week-old puppy to my Riker's 10 years old. And
a variety of breeds.
From Pomeranian, several Aussies, of course,
Mixes.
Cockapoo,
couple of pugs,
Dachshund, standard poodles,
standard poodle, the whatever the overweight dog is.
Several mixes, lab mixes, Malinois mixes, Malinois.
Yeah.
So we tested it on a wide variety of breeds, wide variety of ages,
and
personalities, males and females, personalities from the very bright to the not quite so bright.
To the very energetic to the very shy.
And from people who are professional trainers to therapy dog handlers to pet owners to grandmas.
To treat dispensers.
Human treat dispensers.
So when we tested these, we really hit all courts. We had a lot of people testing these toys, and overall, other than the one pet owner who gave her dog way too many treats anyway, the reaction was very positive. All of the dogs didn't like the same toys. Some liked one better than the other, but that's only to be expected.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the different levels of difficulty. I mean, some of them are quite hard. The Dog Turbo involves moving the wooden knob through the curved channels, but then the treat is pushed out at the side. So it's not a direct correlation between this action creates that.
That's one that my guys really liked. They figured the turbo out That was one of the first ones they figured out, and they liked that one. Some of the games also have more than one difficulty level, depending on how you play it.
Yes.
Or the parts that you put on it.
And she has instructions for how to make it easier and more difficult.
And some of them come with a DVD.
Yes.
So there's plenty of help.
They're well thought out.
Now, if you all have your pen, I'm going to give you some websites where you can get these. You can see them, of course, on Nina's website, and I'll give you that again. That's www.nina-ottosson.com. That's Zoo Active Products is the name of the company. You can also find some of these toys at www.petpdc.com. You can find some at the Company of Animals, which is www.interactivedoggames.com. All is one word, interactivedoggames.com. And we're not getting any kickback from this. This is something that we found, and it's something we've been talking about forever as far as keeping your dog's brain active as well as his body. Another place where you can get several of the toys, not all of them, but several of them, is at Jeffers Pet, www.jefferspet.com, JEFFERSPET.com.
These are not inexpensive toys, but I certainly am willing to pay for more.
Oh, yeah.
And they're kits. I mean, I'm thinking of them as educational interactive kit toys, and I can look forward to buying one, and it's $45.
Well, some are $30. The Dog Magic in the Jeffers Pet catalog is $35.
Okay.
The Dog Spinny, which is one we didn't talk about, we didn't get one to test, is $30. The Dog Pyramid that we talked in our previous podcast is $15. And the Dog Tornado that we talked about today is $40. Okay. So they range in price.
Swapping them around with other dog owners.
Oh, sure.
Right. And then when they come back around to you, they're new again.
Sure. And that's exactly what we're doing while we're testing them. We're just handing them around.
With that and the level of complexity that you can build into the other ones, as some of hers, I can see many hours of usefulness with this.
Yeah.
And fun. Just fun.
So check them out and get your dog's brain going. Get his brain busy. Have fun. And drop us an email afterwards and let us know how your dog did. Which toys your dog liked, which toys he had difficulty with, which toys he was successful with. And you can drop us a line at liz@petliferadio.com. We'd like to hear from you. So that's it. Have fun with your dog.
Go play with them.
Bye-bye.
Having a rough day? Longing for the dog days of summer? Think your fun furry friend lives a dog's life? Well, find out everything you're begging to know as Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with pet expert and award-winning author Liz Palika. Every dog has his day, and you'll find out how to make your dog's day fun and rewarding every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.